So when I'm training new painters and we're going into a job site, one of the first rookie mistakes I see for painting is not feathering your cut-in. So essentially when we load a brush up, we're applying the paint in a corner, right? And they'll just leave it like that. So it leaves heavy edges. So what we prefer to do is to feather it out with our brush, bring it out a little bit. And as you can see, you still see brush strokes in here. So then we'll grab our mini roller, which is the same nap stipple thickness as what we're gonna apply to the wall. And we'll take our mini roller and kind of eliminate those brush strokes. And we'll still follow the same protocol by feathering the edge. So we're feathering our edge, which gives us, when we come to roll out our wall, it's gonna have an even finish to the corner. And we use this in all applications when we're going to trim, when we're cutting against trim, when we're cutting against baseboard, and even our ceiling cut-ins. So we're trying to eliminate all of our brush strokes as much as possible. So another mistake we see is not keeping a wet edge on all of our surfaces. So when we're rolling a ceiling out, we want to roll sequentially through so we're not dipping into dry paint, we're not dripping into any surface that hasn't been previously painted. So keeping a wet edge is sequentially moving along the wall. So after we cut in all of our surfaces, we will specifically do one wall at a time. We'll do this wall, we'll cut everything in while it's still wet, and we will roll top to bottom from left to right, right to left, whichever direction works for the person applying the paint, and we'll move sequentially. We don't want to stop when we're painting the wall. We don't want to answer our phone. We want to continue on so our sheen and our millage, which is the amount of paint applied to the surface, is even throughout. So if I start here in this left corner, I want to keep a wet edge all the way through the wall. So I want to bring left to right, and then I'll finish stroke up to down, applying paint to the surface, continuing on from left to right. So I want to blend it in as I come through and keep going right. So I'm always trying to keep my surfaces wet as I'm going through. It's very important to keep the wet edge so the finish is all uniform. All right, so another common mistake that we see when painting walls is when we're rolling the walls is not applying the proper amount of paint to the wall. So this is primer. We're just doing this as an example on raw drywall. So as we know, primer will soak into raw drywall a lot faster than a painted wall if you're doing a repaint. So essentially, you want to load the roller up nice and evenly, and we're going to go start in the middle, come down, go all the way up, watch the paint go off the roller, and as soon as it starts to feel like it's dry, like you can see the stroke of the roller, it's starting to dry up on the edges, then that's it. We're gonna finish stroke from top to bottom to even out our lines from the roller with even pressure. We don't wanna push on it. We wanna just nice and even, like very minimal pressure, as you can see, down all the way. So this is primer, so it's gonna not flow very far, especially with a 9-inch roller. But then we're gonna keep going, load back up, apply our paint with the same idea, flowing into our wet edge from top to bottom, coming over, waiting for our roller to show that it's starting to dry up, which is right about there. And then we're gonna come through top to bottom with very little pressure. Again, this is just primer, so nice and even. So these lines are just in the primer coat, they will not show in the finish. So another common rookie mistake we see is not scuffing or sanding the walls prior to paint. So we always need to do that, especially on bare drywall. We prime it. It raises the fiber on the sheetrock. So it leaves a rough finish because the primer is just getting accepted into this surface. And we need to scuff it for adhesion purposes and feel. So anytime we're doing a paint project, we want it to look good, but we want it to feel good too. We really want it to just look good. If you can touch it, it's very nice and smooth. So sanding in between coats, most of the time on your first coat, There's possibility of a patch feeling more rough if you do a patch. If you also, there's a possibility of there being kind of junk in the paint. Sometimes the roller sheds, and we can catch that before our finish coat with a scuff sand. So no matter what the quality of paint is, whether it's a flat, a semi-gloss, any type of sheen, scuffing in between coats or prior to even putting a first coat on is extremely important, because even if it's a good paint, the existing substrate may have imperfections, nibs, nubs from the previous paint job. It also allows for adhesion to properly happen. You can go in and not sand walls, but we always prefer to err on the side of safety. We want to make sure that our paint job is going to hold up and look and feel good as time goes on. All right, so going into a previously painted home, kitchens and bathrooms are primarily the most used spaces when it comes to tighter areas. Kitchens have vent hoods, there's grease, there's cooking oils. We do want to clean those before sanding. Just sanding isn't really going to do the job for adhesion purposes in those areas. Bathrooms have moisture from showers and all these different things, so we want to go in and clean them with a degreaser, or I would use a water safe product, something that's just going to remove hair, debris, grease, dust, something like that, and before sanding, because it's not going to do anything to sand an oily or grimy surface. So another common mistake that we see is utilizing all-in-one paint and primer products, especially on bare drywall surfaces and repair work. So the drywall primer is essentially what we would use on bare drywall and patches, and that allows for the surface to be sealed properly. We don't want anything to happen with adhesion, and we don't want anything to flash when we're doing finish coats. So patches like this that you'd see when a painter's going through doing his prep work, we want to sand and prime with a PVA or a drywall primer before we apply any paint. So those all-in-one paints and primers really aren't going to do a good job of blending patches and sealing drywall properly.